What's up, everybody? King of Foam here, coming at you with your daily crypto update. Today we're going to be talking about Cops and Robber, or the clone of the Police and Thieves game, which is again a clone of the Wolf game over on Ethereum. So I'm going to get into kind of the comparisons between these two. I'm also going to talk about what I'm doing with Police and Thieves right now. So first of all, let's talk about the Cops game. Again, like I said, this is a direct clone. If you take a look at the white paper here, if you're familiar with Police and Thieves, or if you're familiar with the Wolf game, you really don't have to read this at all. It's pretty much exactly the same, with the exception of the fact that this is on the Solana blockchain as opposed to the Avalanche blockchain, as opposed to the Ethereum blockchain for the Wolf game. But everything works pretty much the same. You have your loot tokens which you're going to use to purchase either cops or robbers. You can steal cops. You can use cops to steal robbers. You can earn loot from staking both of them, that kind of thing. So again, like I said, the whole concept of the game is pretty much identical for all three of these things. Now that just goes to show, I know a lot of people don't like clones. Now, my whole stance on clones since the beginning of crypto is generally the first clones of things do well. And, you never really want to put all your faith into a clone at the end of the day, but you can definitely make money with clones. And that goes for things when you see things like Dogecoin and Shiba Inu, or when we talk about like proof of weak hands and proof of weak math, depending on how old you guys are in crypto. It's the same case with the Cops and Robber game and the Police and Thieves game and the Wolf game. They're all pretty much identical concepts that you can make money with people FOMOing in, and especially if you do so from the beginning. Now, that's if you're looking at these things from a short-term perspective. If you're looking at it from a long-term perspective, you really have to dig a lot deeper, which I haven't really done in this video. I'm really just bringing you guys this right now. So Cops and Robber is launching actually later today if you're watching this video live. And I think it's at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, but it'll show you guys. If you guys go to the website and you go to the Discord, it'll tell you the exact time it's launching for your time zone. But it's pretty much as simple as that. This is one of those things where if I would play this, I would play this as early as possible, bearing in mind that you have to be careful with clones a little bit nowadays, because a lot of times people will build scams based off of FOMO from old games. That's something that some people are concerned about. This could be a total scam. There could be tons of money rushed into the project because people are going to think it's going to act like Police and Thief, and then the devs will just run off with everything. Another thing people are concerned about is the devs here are anonymous as opposed to the Police and Thief game. I think they're not anonymous over there. They've done KYC and things like that. And additionally, I mean, there's just, you can't really predict where this market's going to go at the end of the day, if people are going to end up buying this on Solana or not. You really just don't know. And honestly, with Police and Thieves, we can take a look at just the market stats right here. It's gone down a significant portion in the past day. It's gone down about 69-70% in terms of price. Floor prices of about $70 for these things, when yesterday was at like $400. So there's that to keep in mind. Like, one of the things that I think about when I'm jumping into these things is, if I'm going to like try to make money with it, I do it as early as possible, and I do it as quick as possible. If you're going to hold out for the long haul for these things, you really need to do your vetting, due diligence, and research to make sure that they're going to be doing something beyond Control-C, Control-V, even if it's on a different blockchain and it requires slightly different code changes and tweaks. Are they really going to further develop beyond the concept that they kind of just stole from the other game? That's kind of the thing that you have to really think about. So with Police and Thief, we can talk about my strategy with that kind of next, since we've kind of covered the Cops game. Now, I forgot to mention this, if you guys aren't a Patreon, we've already been talking about this in my Patreon Discord for the past day now. So if you want to get and learn about these things early, then definitely consider joining that Patreon to get into the Discord channel and to get access to some of my videos 2 to 3 days early. I think this one I'm going to just launch for everyone at once. All right, so let's talk about the Police and Thief game right now, and kind of what my strategy is with this, kind of how things have progressed. So as I'm sure you guys might know, the market has taken a tumble today, down about 10% The entire cryptocurrency space is down 10%. Altcoins down even more, and that includes things like Avalanche, which includes things like this police and thief game loot token and the NFTs themselves. Everything is down a significant portion today, so I'm not surprised to see red at all. Excuse me, some people might be a little bit more surprised because the price is down 70%. Now, something that I keep in mind with this, let me see if I can bring up, I don't actually have the, oh, here it is right here. Something that you have to know here, I mean, we can look at it, this is just with the stats page alone. There's 50,000 of these cops and robbers or police and thieves being minted, which is more than, I think, every other NFT on the Avalanche NFT stats page. So what that means is you should expect the price of these things, best case scenario, like if this were to compete with the chicken game, which is the #1 game on the Avalanche blockchain for NFTs, if you want to compare it to that and say that they're on equal grounding, then you're looking at a close to about a $200 floor price with 500 or with 5 times more supply than the chicken game. You know, similar market cap. You got to kind of divide the floor price by 5 to get the actual one-to-one value comparison of these two things. So you can look at it about a $200 price tag if you're comparing it to chicken. Now that's best case scenario. So honestly, anything below $200, maybe even below $100, might be a steal. And that's if, and there's a big if there, if the developer really does continue to bring value and utility to the loot token and to the game itself, and so that people continue playing, because this is a token where it's minted to death. So what that means is like and I talked about this in my Discord channel as well, so those of you who are hearing this now, you could have heard about this a little bit earlier if you're part of that Patreon page. But basically the way that this works is you're going to get exponentially more loot over time. So this is my thought process. I think that the value of loot is going to go down. Like, it doesn't make sense for the value of loot to increase over time until all of these things have been minted. There's no way that the minting can outpace the amount of loot that is being printed by the new mints and the old mints. So the price of loot is going to go down. The price of the NFTs, like I said, if you're going to look at them at the actual market value, if you think that they're going to have value in the future, you can compare it to chicken and say that anything less than $200 is a steal. Maybe anything less than $100 is like a really good steal for the NFTs themselves. Excuse me. Now, what am I doing? So personally, this is just my strategy. You guys can come up with your own. I'm not the expert in this space at all, but personally, what I'm doing is, when these things get extra cheap, I'm buying up some of the some of the NFTs themselves by either minting or getting them on market, whatever's cheaper. And that's pretty much at the price they're at right now. We'll see if they get even cheaper tomorrow. I wouldn't be surprised if they do. But that's what I'm doing. I'm scooping these things up while they're below what I think is the fair market value for best case scenario. And as far as loot is concerned, I'm immediately selling and dumping all of my loot until we get close to the end of this. When we get close to the end of that, or more specifically, when we get close to, I think it's like 2.5 billion, whatever the maximum amount of loot is, that's when I'll think about stacking up on some more loot and holding it. But until then, like, you guys have to understand, there's the only utility for loot is to purchase more of these NFTs, and the cost doesn't outweigh the amount that's being printed on a daily basis, and so it just, the price has to go down. So I'm not really messing around with the money laundry or the vault, because again, the APY for that it's gonna exponentially decrease if the price exponentially decreases too. So those are just my thoughts. I mean, you guys have to really decide your own way of playing the game, but that is, I know some of you guys were curious about, am I just gonna sell? Is this a complete failure? That's what I think. I think that it can be a pretty good success if you do it the right way. Like what I'm doing is compounding and selling the loot tokens and compounding the actual NFTs themselves to see what's going to happen in the future. We'll see. But again, if you want to try from scratch and see what happens with this kind of risky launch, you can try the Cops game. I do have a few issues with one of the main issues that I have with NFTs in general is whitelisting. I think that there can be some shady stuff that happens with whitelisting, especially because it's not completely random. And they do have a whitelist on here, so some people love whitelists, and I understand the fact that if you don't have a whitelist, you're going to have a problem with gas wars and bots stealing all of the supply. Um, and I don't know if there's a solution for that, but honestly, I don't think the best solution is whitelist. But for now, it might be. But anyway, that's everything for today, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.